Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Each episode, you'll dive into conversations with top entrepreneurs, visionaries, and business leaders, unlocking the secrets to building profitable relationships that drive growth and success. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, presented by Leduc Entertainment. Today, we are joined by Christian Selley, a principal and the certified financial advisor of CJ Selley Financial Planning. Christian, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adrian. Very pleasure to be on the show today.
And can you start off by telling us a little about yourself, a little about CJ Selley Financial Advising and Planning?
Yeah, of course. So started 2 years ago. Part of quite a big organization brand, St. James's Place. I operate in London, UK, but we have offices worldwide. So we have offices in Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, looking to potentially open up in US as well, in New York. And my area is to focus and look after clients and also businesses in the areas of pension planning and investment planning. So making sure that we are looking after you from an investment management planning approach and adapting it moving forwards. So I have quite an array of different clients, and my job is to look after you from a financial planning point of view.
And can you tell me a little bit about the people that you help? Like, when people come to you, what are some of the pain points that they're experiencing that you're helping them to resolve?
Yeah, sure. So there's quite a few different areas. So it could be, for example, someone wants to focus on savings. So can we build a saving buffer for you to ensure that you're prepared for any unexpected expenses? It might be a case of looking at their wealth. So strategy to grow wealth over time, reducing any risk, but also make sure that we're focusing on your goals. One area that I get a lot of is retirement planning. So a client is 5 to 7 years to wanting to retire. How can we help? So building a future, being able to making sure their assets are working hard for them, but also making sure that our investments are in the right place and in the right assets. Another area we are focusing quite a lot on, or we're seeing, is inheritance tax planning at the moment. So people are living longer, generally speaking, which means that passing wealth on to their kids or to their beneficiaries, it means that they will have to pay inheritance tax in the future. So we're doing a lot of planning around that as well. Right. It's busy. We're very busy, and I like helping clients. I like seeing the result, going from how much tax we're saving them and how we're building a plan for them. They're the kind of main areas we're focusing on, really.
And can you run back over, I mean, you have global offices, is that correct?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
And how do you keep track? I mean, obviously, you know, the laws differ in different areas. I mean, how has that achieved that sort of global expansion, and how do you keep track of something on such a major scale?
Yeah, sure. So I personally don't have the offices there. So we work under an umbrella company. So the umbrella company have all the offices abroad. So let's say in Dubai, for example, because they have a presence there, they allow me to then get a license to practice in Dubai.
Right.
Now, due to quite a few political changes happening in the UK, quite a lot of my clients have actually moved overseas. So moved to America, actually, and also UAE, so Dubai. So now it's becoming a stage for myself where I'm saying, okay, well, maybe I should have and operate in those countries. So that's why I'm looking at opening up an office in Dubai moving forwards.
Right.
Because I work under the umbrella company of St. James's Place, if you were to live in Dubai, I can refer you on to a colleague who can actually help you with your finances in that area, whether it be US or Dubai as well. So yeah, so that's the plan of action. And yes, it can be very difficult to understand the products, the compliance, and understand what's happening in each country because all the laws are different. So it's a case of keeping up to date with everything and going to courses and keeping up to date with that.
Well, I apologize because I think I'm about to ask the most loaded question ever. So I apologize in advance.
No problem.
But what would be some of the benefits and some of the downsides of operating in the US as opposed to operating in the UK? Like what's better, what are some advantages of operating in the UK? What are some advantages of operating in the US?
Yeah, of course. So when you say operating in terms of living or working?
I guess both. I see.
Yeah.
Again, loaded question. I don't even know what I'm asking.
That's fine. That's fine. So, US is such a big economy. You know, the biggest economy in the world, essentially. And you have quite a few changes happening politically as well. And
Right.
there's a lot of changes in UK. UK is such a much smaller economy than US. So with US, you have the advantage of the biggest companies in the world. So working for one of these big companies will allow you to get a good package. So a good package working for a big company. Again, working in UK, you have the advantage of working with quite a few big companies as well. So I guess it's just what you prefer. We work very closely with US, and a lot of our assets and our funds are in US, and we use a lot of banks. So we work with the top investment banks and top wealth investment planning companies in US, but also in UK as well. So I guess it's just a preference, and it really depends on what companies you're working for. So in US, you have big banks and technology companies. UK, we don't have massive technology companies. So it's my job to really understand what you're doing, how much you're earning. If you're earning more money considerably than the average, then we can start looking at some tax mitigation. How can we reduce your tax? How can we get your money working a little bit harder for you? So that's kind of how it differs a little bit. It's the industries in US and UK are slightly different.
So it sounds like you work with a wide variety of clients, and I guess my question is, when you come in with a financial plan, when you come in with a plan to help people out, is it a one size fits all approach, or is it highly tailored to each individual that you're working with?
Yeah, sure. So it's very, very tailored, very tailored. So your position will be different to someone else's. You want to retire maybe earlier than someone else, or you may have a different risk allocation, meaning that you're happy to take on a little bit more risk than someone else. So there's many, many factors, and it might be a case where you say, okay, well, I only want to invest for 3 years. Someone else has a 10-year goal. So it's very unique, and we tailor it towards each client.
Right.
And that could be based on many, like I said, many factors. So these are all the considerations that we need to address and take note of. And then we can then design a strategy around that. Again, client situations change on an annual basis. So that's why it's very important for us to review the client's investments and situation each year.
Right.
To make sure that we're adopting the strategy to the changes in their personal life as well. So yes, very, very unique and very different. Really can't compare two clients the same. They're all unique.
And even though it's so unique, can you maybe kind of walk us through, like, what are the key pillars of establishing a financial plan? I mean, is there some sort of framework that is similar amongst them?
Sure. So a solid financial plan will rest on 5 pillars, essentially. So 5 pillars being budgeting and cash flow management. So understanding your income and expenses. That's the foundation of a financial plan, first of all. You can't plan for the future without knowing where your money is going today. Number 2 would be savings and emergency fund. So building a savings buffer ensures you're then prepared for any unexpected expenses. And typically we would say 3 to 6 months of essential expenses is a good benchmark to have for you. 3 would be investments and wealth growth. So financial plans should include a strategy to grow wealth over time, balancing risk and return. And that's based again on your goals and time horizon. Number 4 would be retirement planning. So preparing for the future by determining how much you'll need to live on comfortably in retirement, and then also setting up the right pension or investment vehicles to then achieve that. And finally, number 5 would be protection and estate planning. So ensuring you and also your family are financially protected through insurance, and also creating a plan for intergenerational wealth transfer, which then again, like I said earlier, minimizes tax and also protects your legacy as well moving forward. So each pillar then works together to create a comprehensive plan, and that then evolves as your circumstances change. Like I said, moving forwards, your circumstances will constantly change, and that's what we're here for, to adopt that.
And now, I mean, listening to that, there's a pillar of that sounds to me like it would be the most difficult pillar, but I don't know. What is there a pillar that you see that people have more trouble with than another?
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. It depends on your age. It really does, because my younger clients have trouble with budgeting and cash flow management. So yes, they understand what they've got coming in and what's going out, but what they struggle with is reducing their expenses. So how can we reduce your expenses? So I see that very, very what's the word, popular, I could say, with my younger clients.
Right.
My older clients would be estate planning. So 60 plus is estate planning. They can't get their head around it. It is a very complex area to understand, and there's a lot of inheritance tax planning advice out there, but it's very difficult to implement and put into action. So we're seeing a lot of that with the older clients and things. So mid-age, 40, 50, we're seeing a lot of retirement planning. So making sure that, okay, time's ticking along. Have I got a fund or emergency fund or retirement plan in place to reach my goals of retiring at age 60, shall I say? So again, it's very unique, and it depends on the age of the client as to what pillar we're seeing. But essentially, if I'm working with a client who's age 30 up until age 60 throughout their life, we will tick off every single pillar and make sure that we've got a comprehensive plan in place for each pillar moving forwards.
See, I'm at the age of, how do I make the money I have make more money for me?
Of course. That's the magic question, really.
That's what I was going to ask. Is how do you make that happen?
Of course, yeah. So again, it's a case of making sure you're budgeting, you're understanding your cash flow, having some savings for an emergency if your car breaks down, for example, and wealth growth. So adopting different strategies. So when we devise a plan for a client, we'll look at different asset classes, but also making sure that it's wrapped in the correct tax wrapper, depending on your situation. And it's just chipping away and saving. Just keep saving. And we will invest that money for you. So we will invest it in property, we'll invest it in potentially commodities, but also we'll look at mutual funds and also some stocks as well. So that way we're spreading the risk, increasing the returns, and you're going to get essentially better returns than what the bank would give you, essentially.
And I imagine for a lot of people, when they're looking at their finances, I imagine it's a little bit of a slippery slope that they don't really realize, oh, this is fine. It's not as good as the last time, but it's fine. It's not as good as last time. It was fine. Is there some kind of marker or indicator that a business or an entrepreneur or, someone needs to, is there a marker that people should look at to say, okay, I need to reach out and get professional help?
Yeah, very good question again. So I get clients come to me all the time. Some will implement a plan, some won't. It's human nature. Some people have the time, some people don't. Some people see it as an urgency, and some people don't. I find a lot of my very successful clients, so CEOs of big companies, they don't have the time. They seriously do not have the time.
Right.
And some of them you can't get hold of. So they take that first stage and they say, Christian, I need to do something with my finances. I'm earning X amount, it's earning really good money, but they're spending a lot of money. And you can have all of this money, but if you're not very good at, like I said, the pillar, budgeting, you're going to struggle. You really are going to struggle. And then when it comes to retirement, you're going to get to a stage where you say, okay, well, I want to live on X amount per month, like
Right.
I was earning working for this big company. But they don't have the resources to do that now because they're now retired. So yes, it happens a lot. But everyone's at a different stage of their life. And yeah, I guess it's putting something in place. So regardless of how much money you have, just reach out to a financial advisor just to see if there's something we can help with, and come up with a plan of action for you as well. Yeah.
And can we talk about a little bit, what does it look like, I guess, is there a scenario, can we talk a little bit about what does it look like if someone does need to reach out and have the services, and have that advice and needs that, but they don't reach out? What does that look like if they just keep on doing what they've always done?
Yeah, sure. It's not a bad thing. So some people are very knowledgeable when it comes to financial planning, and some people do the right thing. They do, they save, they invest, they have an emergency fund, and they'll tick off every single pillar. I'd probably say 80% of the time, if you reach out to me and you think you know what you're talking about and what you're doing, I could pick a financial gap in your finances. I really can. So that's really interesting because I get a lot of accountants and investment bankers or tax experts, and they say, "Oh, I know all of this." So I say, "Okay, that's fine. I understand that, but let's just do a little fact find just to see if there's any gaps there." And I always find, well, like I said, 80-90% of the time I always find a gap. And they always say, you really opened my eyes up to that. I didn't know that. And then we sort of move forwards from there. So whether you want to progress to the next stage and stage after that, that's fine. But again, 80-90% of them will proceed from there. So it's just it's having an open mind and being and saying, okay, well, I might not know everything. And I think that's the mentality people have now, where we have so much information on the internet and social media everywhere, and you listen to things everywhere as well, and you think you're knowledgeable, but you're not. There's so many areas that people aren't aware of, and it's always good to connect with a professional, because again, as you probably know, Adrian, there's a lot of social media, posts going out, which is incorrect information, incorrect
Right.
news. So yeah, like I said, it's connecting with the right professionals to add value to your finances.
Well, and now with the AI technology everywhere,
Yeah,
that's a whole new whole new thing that's going to
yeah,
be influencing all of that area. I mean, do you
yeah.
think that AI is going to influence your field and your industry at all?
Very good question again. So AI, we have adopted AI systems and technology, and it's very powerful because it can speed our efficiency up, but also it can add value to the clients as well. So we use a model called cash flow analysis, and
Mhm.
that will look at the client's finances from where they are currently to, let's say, age 80, age 90. And we'll really look at, well, how can we save on tax for you over that period of time? But how can we grow your assets or generated income for you within that time as well? And that's all adopted through AI. And this is very powerful, very, very powerful. So it by using AI, it allows us to really add that value to that client as well moving forwards.
No, I was going to say we've talked a little bit about what does it look like, if someone doesn't, get your aid when they need to. But I'm wondering, I'm sure you've got a lot of stories. I'm wondering, is there a story that you could maybe share with us of a business or a client or someone that you really saw a transformation in them or their business in as a result of seeking your help?
Yeah, quite a
Again, it's
few.
another one of those loaded questions. I like
Yeah, put me on the spot there.
that.
Yeah, so I've got a few. So I've got an airline pilot who I worked with during COVID, um, and he actually lost his house
Mm,
through a divorce. He lost his job because it was COVID, and a lot of the airlines were cutting back. Um, so he approached me and said, "Christian, I'm in this amount of debt. I've got this loan, credit card. I need a little bit of help." So uh, I consolidated all the debts for him, reached out to third party, made sure we reduced the interest rates on them as the first thing, making sure they're all paid off. Have you got any savings? Yes, I've got X. Okay, let's pay that off first. Start building himself up from there. Got rehired from another airline, thought positively, which is a very good. That's another area that you should consider as well. Mindset, having that positive mindset. Um, when he got employed, we then started on the journey again. So had a look at his pensions. Right, okay, let's reallocate them to better performing assets, which is what we did. Let's put all your pensions in one. Now let's look at your disposable income. How much have you got left over now you've joined this new airline? So we looked at that. Then we came up with a plan for his disposable income. And then we looked at, has he got protection in case if the airline, something happened to the airline? Okay, no, he doesn't. So we're putting protection in place for him if he loses his job. Okay. Now he's been with us a year and a half. His return on investment's been around about 23%. So very good return. He's built himself up. He's got back on the property ladder. He's got in a positive mindset, and
wow.
he's happy with the results. So it's just something like that where he said, "Okay, well, you've given me hope to start working again and getting into that mindset." And he wouldn't really have been able to do that with anyone else because we've consolidated everything and we made it happen. And with a lot of clients, it's having someone there to keep you accountable and actually doing it. So we're here to actually action it for you and make it happen.
Well, and I'd like to highlight a little bit further. Just you
Mm.
highlighted just then kind of the power of a positive mindset. Would you care to speak a little bit more about the because you did highlight that the power of the positive mindset. What does that mean to you? Like, what is the power of that?
Yeah, sure. So Ooh, you're touching upon my sister's area now, positive mindset. But there's many benefits. So benefits of a positive mindset is improved mental health. So it reduces stress, anxiety, depression. You get an enhanced physical health from it. So positive thinking has been linked to stronger heart health, stronger immunity, and of course, longer living. Boosted productivity, which is very important, and creativity. So adopting a positive attitude fosters creativity and innovation, and that will give you more ideas. And also it improves problem solving as well, and because it shifts your attention to your possibilities and what you can do. Stronger relationships, and also creates success. So it's very important. So in terms of positive mindset, it's a case of just going to bed early. I know it sounds really simple, but going to bed early, having 8 hours sleep, going to the gym, and then having a routine. So for myself, I have a routine. So 8 a.m. Checking the stock market, checking what's happening with different stocks and funds. And then I'm sort of making sure throughout the day I've got meetings in my diary, and having a structure. Structure is very important to keep on track, and it's good for your mental health as well.
And that's one of the things that I have always heard is that, if you can't track it, you can't measure it, and if you can't measure it, you can't be held accountable to it, right?
100%. Spot on. Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
And just it's funny, just in the time talking here with you, I can tell that you're somebody that really obviously likes to help people. You're somebody that likes to help people, and I'm wondering, is that drive to help people, is that something that is just innate to your character, or is that something you've cultivated along the way as a result of the positions you've been in?
Yeah, I think it's probably a combination of things, really. I've always been wanting to help people. So friend circle, family circle. But also I think my experiences and the jobs I've been in have really shaped my relationship management skills. I've been in banking, finance the last sort of 7-8 years, and it's taught me a lot. It really has taught me a lot, and I think also meeting different clients has allowed me to build a relationship with them, and understanding their story is very important. And I'm very good at listening, so probably a combination of both. Probably a combination.
Absolutely. And Christian, thank you so much for coming on the show. If anybody out there listening could use your help, could use some financial advice, how can the people listening reach you?
Yeah, sure. So you can connect through with me through my website. That's www.cjselleyfp.co.uk. Or through my Calendly link. Can you hear me?
I was gonna say you might want to re-say that again. I think we might have lost you there for a second.
Apologies for that. So you can connect with me on my website. So that's www.c.
Nope.
You can reach with me. Reach.
I think we might have lost you again there.
You lost me again. Apologies for that. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Christian Selley on LinkedIn, or you can go onto my website, CJ Selley Financial Planning on Google. And if you sign up to my website, you can get updates and insights, and I'll share regular tips and strategies for building and protecting wealth.
Awesome. Christian, thank you so much. This has been an awesome interview. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much for everyone for listening. This has been Partnerships for Profit presented by Leduc Entertainment. Christian, Thank you again.
Thank
This
you,
has been
Adrian.
awesome.
Take care.
You have a great
Take
one.
care.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.